This is the Big Woods Bucks Podcast. Come explore the big woods and timber in North America with your host, Maine Master Guide and deer tracking expert Hal Blood. Listen to Hal and co-hosts Lee Libby and Joe Cruzy as they unlock the secrets of big woods whitetails. Each episode will provide valuable insights into the tried and true system Hal has used for the last 40 years to scout, locate, and hunt mature big woods bucks. Listen and laugh as the crew discusses Hal's legendary adventures and learn how to apply a lifetime's worth of lessons from the big woods to your own hunting and outdoor adventures.
Welcome to the Big Woods Bucks Podcast. I'm your host, Hal Blood, sitting over here in the beautiful Rangeley, Maine, with my co-host, Leon Libby.
Howdy.
A.K.A. Bad Lee, and Joe Cruzy.
Hello.
And today we got a special guest on. It's one of our new sponsors. It's Andy Lawson, owner of Skinner Sights. We've already told you we've got something going on with Andy and the sights, and he's helping us bring you some special sights and good quality stuff. So welcome, Andy.
Hey, thanks, Hal. It's good to be with you.
All right. So let's give people that don't know a little history on Skinner Sights and bring them up to speed. I know you didn't start it, but you own the company now.
Yeah, I started about 11 years ago now. A friend of mine was making some sights in his basement. He was retired. He was an old friend of mine. I'd known him for 30 years, Dr. Skinner. And he'd had a problem with the sight on his gun, kept coming apart in the Scabbard when he was in the backcountry. By the way, you guys are in the big woods of the Northeast. I'm looking out at my favorite whitetail woods in western Montana as we speak.
Nice.
So this is our life. This is exactly what we've done all our lives.
Right.
Anyway, he was riding his horse around. The sight kept coming apart in the Scabbard, and he thought, I need to make a better sight than that. So he built his first sight, and he built a few more, and got a hold of me one day, gave me a sight. Long story short, he started getting too busy making those sights in his basement, wanted somebody else to do it. Said, Andy, why don't you buy my company? And we did. So that was 11 years ago, and I've not looked back. Today we've got a 5,000 square foot manufacturing facility. We machine Peep sights from solid steel bar stock for the real deal hunters. We want them to be rugged as the rifle itself, accurate, and yet aesthetically pleasing on the rifle. So that's how Skinner Sights came to be. And people like you folks, Al and Joe and Lee, you guys are exactly the people that we make these sights for. And we're really glad to be a part of the Big Woods Bucks crew.
Yep.
Nice.
Thanks for that.
Nice introduction.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. And, like I said, I was telling you before when we talked, Andy, that I didn't even know you made the sight for the 7600 and the 760s. When did you start making them for those?
Oh, I've been making those probably for almost since the beginning. Not quite, but it was kind of obscure. In our country, we don't see a lot of those guns.
Right.
There's a few of them out here. The folks that hunt the mountainous west, they're expecting that up close encounter, but also the cross canyon or open country shot. So the pump and the semi-auto hasn't reigned king here, and the lever gun. Lever guns for bear defense and that kind of hunting. But those guns, the 7600, 760s, 740s, a little more rare. So I didn't put those on the front burner, but we've been making them for quite a few years.
I think the reason I didn't realize it, I actually looked a couple years ago or last year, whatever it was, and I looked on on your website, the way they were listed, you could see all the gun models, and I didn't see Remington. I didn't realize they were under Express Sights, and yes. I think that's why I missed it. But I was happy to see it when I realized what it was and that you did make them.
Well, it's been pretty popular. Not near as popular as it has been the last few weeks. You guys showed some around at one of your get-togethers, and people in the shop said, "Okay, what's happened?"
You getting a couple orders, are you?
Yeah, they said we haven't sold it, half a dozen 7,600 sites in the last 6 months, and we've had that many go out in the last week. What's going on?
Nice.
Well, you better ramp up after this podcast.
Oh, I was making some last night, as a matter of fact. I working on the Big Woods Buck special edition sight, the one that we're partnering with you folks. We're redesigning that aperture, so it's a ghost ring. We have a ghost ring, but it's also threaded for an aperture, and that'll still be available. But we're making you guys a special ghost ring to Hal's specifications.
That's right.
Andy, let me ask you regarding the aperture. I know a lot of them that you do are the brass. Is there a particular reason that you go with brass for the color or durability, or why is it?
It looks great, and it still works pretty well, actually very well. And all of our sites that we've made prior have that threaded insert. So you have a blued steel insert in the brass ring. But if we're going to make this just a ghost ring, we're going to make that out of blued steel, so there's a little bit darker, a little more ghosty. But it all started with the Marlin. Marlin lever guns have a gold trigger, remember? The old Marlin
right.
Gold trigger. Well, we made solid steel sights, solid brass sights, solid stainless steel. One day I thought, what if I put a brass windage insert in there and a brass aperture stem? That's really going to look nice with that gold trigger. We call it the Skinner Black Gold, and honestly, it's our number one seller.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
What always struck me about your sites, right, just at first glance, is kind of the clean line of it, very simplistic. You can just imagine it carrying well in the hand and everything. And not that the other Peep sites don't, but yours just seemed a little more rugged and a little sleeker.
We went for a streamlined look. I like things that don't look like a blister grew on top of your gun. So I wanted it to look sleek and crisp, and I wanted a sight that while you're sitting in the woods on a stump eating your sandwich, you're looking at your rifle and you think, man, that's a beautiful gun. I want to take a picture of that. And you wouldn't believe how many pictures of guys' crotches I have with a rifle laying across them.
Keep your private business to yourself, Andy.
What's that?
I say keep your personal life to yourself.
It's just really cool. I get these pictures in my email or on my phone, and a guy's sitting on the woods. He's got the rifle on his lap, and he says, man, that's beautiful, and he snaps a picture of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I'm looking forward to getting one. Even though I run a scope on my deer gun, I'm going to have one of your sights on my Marlin lever gun for our Alaska hunt this year. So looking forward to using it for the first time out there.
Yeah, are you hunting moose, Hal?
Yeah, well, Joe, there's 6 of us going on this moose hunt in Alaska, and it'll be me and Joe and a couple other team members and guy that owns Woodman Arms and stuff. So we're in groups of 2, in a drop camp hunt. And Joe's taking his Marlin guide gun too. And I told you that's what I was taking, was the 1895. So we'll be using those. I don't know, the rest of the guys I think are scoping it up for out there, but
yeah, it works nice to have between the two hunters having a scope gun and a Peep.
Yeah,
works out well.
I hunted Alaskan moose. It's been a few years ago. He's hanging on the fireplace here behind me. But that particular moose, he wouldn't show himself day after day, and I did actually shoot him with a scope-sighted rifle because of the distance. Some of that country is kind of like antelope country.
Right.
What area did you hunt in, Andy?
We were out of Kotzebue, out in the Selawik.
Way up.
Yep, north of the Arctic Circle. Drop camp.
I talked to a biologist out there that said that the reason the antlers are so much bigger up there is because the length of the daylight, and that vitamin D is what grows them, and that's why the Kotzebue area was.
I didn't
they
know
grow
that.
Giant bulls. How big was your bull? How wide was it?
Yeah, he's 60 inches.
Yep.
Just hit right on the magical 60-inch, but he's gnarly, kind of looks prehistoric in the brow tines, and an awesome bull.
Nice.
Yep, cool. So I had a couple guys ask me a question about the sights, Andy, and one of them was, do you have to change your stock front bead on the 7600s? And my answer was not that I know of, because when I put it on that 760, I put one of the sights you sent out when we tried it at our Big Woods get-together. It was dead on with that sight. Have you had anybody that said they needed a different bead?
On the 760, 7600, and that family of rifles, we haven't had a tremendous amount of feedback because, again, that's you guys are a special breed, and it's a special niche. So there's not so many of those out there. Plus, I can tell you, the guys that are shooting those guns are the real deal. Make it happen guys. They're not the novice for the most part. So when they get those sights, if they needed a different front sight, I'm sure they ordered one from us and we probably never knew. But It's about a 50-50 like on the Marlin lever guns. The 45-70s, definitely a 50-50. The 30-30s, maybe a little bit more slanted toward, you're going to need a taller front sight. 35 rim, probably a little bit more than the 30-30s. It's a variable, and it's hard to explain to some, but when they screw those barrels into the receiver, all it takes is just a couple thousandths of angle there when they finally crush fit, and you make a little bit of difference in that barrel angle to the receiver. Now that's no problem when you got a sight out on the barrel, but when you add a sight to the receiver, now that angle comes into play. So it's a little bit of a shoot and see type proposition.
Yeah.
And if you need a front sight, my customer service guy is amazing. You can call him up and say, hey, it looks like I'm going to need a little taller front sight. I'm hitting 6 inches high at 50 yards, and he'll do the math real quick and say, yeah, this is what you need.
Yep. Okay. So you can take care of that problem if they have one. But my experience over the years with them, with the 7600s, is most of them don't need, with any Peep sight, they don't need to change, but some of them do. When I got mine back in the 80s, my windage was off. It was off so far that I had to actually knock my front sight over because it was too awkward. You could notice it more on the rear sight. So I knocked my front sight over in the dovetail a little bit to take care of that. But on the 7600s, because the barrel doesn't screw in, but
right.
And again, it probably only would take, like in the machining, a half of a thousandth on the end of the barrel where it goes in to make it, or even in the receiver, just something where that slides into the receiver to be off a hair could do any of that, huh?
That's exactly right. Plus, you're mounting a sight up on top of the receiver. It's going to be a little taller than some of the, say, Marlin rear sights, which were really low on the barrel. Now we've moved this to the top of the receiver. You have to have a certain amount of height for elevation adjustment and mounting. Ours are pretty low, but it's just one of those things. Be prepared, and it's not like changing the toilet paper. This won't cause brain damage.
Yeah. The other thing I really liked about the sight was I liked the elevation adjustment. It's simple that it's threaded and you just screw it up or screw it down,
Half a turn at a time. Yep.
Yep.
Yep, it's real simple and locks solid with a elevation locking screw. Sometimes people look at that ghost string sticking up and they say, ooh, that looks fragile. I might break that off. And I hear that kind of stuff. People say, I hunt the big woods and I might break that off. Man, I hunt the Rocky Mountain West.
Yeah.
and we've seen two broken off. One of them exited a pickup going down the interstate at about 60 miles an hour. And it slid down the highway, and it didn't actually break. It grounded off flush with the top of the sight. We actually refurbed that sight and It was and lifetime warranty. You throw your pickup out or your rifle out the window and break your sight, I'm going to replace it.
Oh, nice.
The other one was caught in a safe door. Somehow he got it caught between the 1/4-inch thick steel plates and sheared it off. Other than that, I've never had a broken sight.
Nice. Good to know.
So my question is, if someone orders a sight, is it going to be 3 months out to get it, or do you think you'll be able to produce them and get them out to us?
We are normally out the door in 24 to 48 hours, working day hours. So, and that's not going to be any different for you guys. I mean, we've been ramping up to build this for you, taking a little while because we're retooling that ghost string. But no, we'll have them in stock. You'll have them in stock in your store, and we'll keep you supplied. There isn't going to be a long waiting period.
That's nice.
Yeah. What I see going to be the beauty of it too is somebody can, you're going to build this. We're going to call it the Big Woods Tracker series, whether it's on the 7600, 760, or the Marlins, and that'll have the ghost ring, and it'll be black on black.
Yep.
But if they want to put an aperture, they can just get the other piece to screw in, the regular aperture, and it'll screw right in there, right?
Right. The standard Skinner stem will be readily available. We make apertures in 5 different sizes, everything from a 40 thousandths to 155 thousandths, and even increments up to that. And so those will be available. We even have the Merit Company makes us adjustable aperture that you can put in there and dial an aperture, which is kind of slick.
Yeah.
So,
and you guys will have all that available through Big Woods Bucks.
So when you get down to those real small apertures, is it just a personal preference thing and everyone's eyes are different and everything else? Is that all it boils down to?
Well, the actual magic of a peep sight hey, we're all older, right? And we hate to admit that. And as we get older, that depth of field starts to get a little bit fuzzy. That front sight starts to get a little fuzzy, and keeping all of it crisp at the same time. That's why a lot of guys say, I'm just going to put a scope on it. Well, these guns are bulky and awkward with a scope. Keeping it crisp and clean is really nice. So the smaller the aperture, the crisper that front sight and the target are going to be. It's just like the iris in a camera lens. It increases that depth of field. So as we get a little older, a little smaller hole actually can be an advantage. Now, when you're in the bush and you're taking a quick running shot, that's something up close, everything's under 50 yards, take that aperture out, shoot it as a ghost ring.
Yep, right.
Okay.
That's what we've always done out here. It's because you can't, if you put an aperture in, you can't see anything in the woods. The woods is dark here, and you don't get enough light through it. And a dim light, the apertures don't work good either. It just doesn't let enough light in there to see good.
Exactly. The little apertures, that's a bright sunny day on the range type of sight. And I like it because you can sight your gun in with that, do your load development, testing, whatever. And then when you pull that out, it's just a straight ghost ring, or you put in the Big Woods aperture, the ghost ring that we're going to make. When you put that in there, you're still dialed in, you're still zeroed.
Right. Yep, sounds good.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
we machine these from solid steel bar stock. I just want to emphasize that. Never any aluminum in our Peep sight products. We do make some aluminum scope rails. We also make that scope rail with an integral Peep on the rear. The Peep on the rear is still solid steel. We don't make that for the 7600, but we do make it for all the Marlin and Henry lever guns. So you can have the best of both worlds.
Yep.
Everything else, though, is solid steel, made in the USA.
Nice.
Tell us about your front sights, Andy. What do you use for? Are they just painted front sights, or?
We have several different kinds of front sights. We have beads that are and blades and fiber optics. Fiber optics are a little less durable, But the ones that we use are made of solid steel. So even if you were to lose the fiber optic rod, you still have a front sight. That really does work pretty well in that dim woods. Then we've got the beads, which are traditional brass bead. We usually go with a bit smaller bead, but you can always source a white or brass, whatever is your preference. And then we make a patridge blade. For the Marlins, we make one with, I suppose it would also work on the 7600. I hadn't really thought about that. Anyway, one that we call the Bear Buster. It's a ramped blade, about 80 thousandths wide. We were making that for the Marlin Trapper Series 4570. We also expanded that for the rest of our line. It mounts with a single screw, and it's all one-piece construction. And then we have standard patridge blades with a serrated face. And we make them in blued steel. You can paint that, or we can paint the Bear Buster we paint. And then you can also get it in solid brass, which is kind of nice, kind of like the old sourdough sight.
Sounds like you got all kinds of stuff there.
Can't wait.
Sorry, it was a lot of stuff, but it's when it comes to front sights, it's definitely a handful. There's a lot of different options.
Yeah. Okay, now the $1 million question. When's our Big Woods Tracker Series going to be available?
I was hoping to tell you this morning, guys, I got one in my hand. There's a little bit of the process that I was working on last night, and it didn't completely come together. I've got my guys working on a few of them this morning, but it'll be soon. It'll be real soon.
Yeah, I've had quite a few messages and emails about that, so...
I hope to have a couple different models. Well, the 45, well, let's say it this way. Large frame Marlin, large frame Henry are the same sights. So I hope to have those and the Remingtons, the 760, 7600. And that'll cover all your Remington semi-auto and pumps. I hope to have a supply of those in your hand by the end of this month or a little before.
Perfect.
Nice.
We'll have them on our moose guns.
Oh, yeah, we need them on those moose guns. And we do make solid stainless steel. If a lot of guys have the Marlin guide guns in stainless or the Henry all-weathers, we make the only solid stainless steel Peep sight that I'm aware of in the world.
Nice.
Yeah.
You've got the Peep business cornered, it sounds like. It sounds like you got everything covered, so
yeah,
that's good.
Well, it was kind of going away. Not for everybody. Folks like yourselves that still understood them were using them, but, these days everybody's got a Cerakoted something that's been, what color is it this week, and some kind of Picatinny rail down the side of the forearm and over the top and all kinds of crazy stuff. And people are rediscovering the simplicity and effectiveness of just a straight Peep sight.
right.
When I first bought the company, one of my best friends says, "Man, are you buying a buggy company just as Henry Ford brought out the Model A?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an interesting comment. I mean, you can, but it sounds like you've really moved it in the right direction. And I was going to also ask you. I came across, I was looking last year when I went out to Alaska, I was looking for a waterproof gun scabbard. Do you still manufacture those?
I have them. Yes, they're not on our website, but we do make it pretty much waterproof. The fabric, I did a 24-hour test with the fabric, and it held water for 24 hours without seeping through. But I tell people, don't try and submerge your gun and think it won't get in there. But we make a dry bag type closure case that is just awesome for the Alaska experience. Matter of fact, Phil Shoemaker and his daughter Tia, they say it's their favorite case. She just used one on a muskox hunt this last winter. Up there, had it tied in their snowmobile, and of course, snow everywhere. And when they got on the muskox, she said her rifle came out just clean and dry.
Nice.
So,
Excellent.
yeah. Well, I'll have to get you guys a couple cases for field testing.
Yeah.
We'd love to test them.
We could probably take them to Alaska, too.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. You know, they say, I mean, we're just flying in and getting dropped off, but out there you never know. You might be in days of rain, so it's nice to have a good waterproof place to put your gun.
That's why we made them. Yeah, after hunting Alaska a few times, I said, this is going to be, you can sit there and watch your gun rust in Alaska if you're not careful with them, and that's what this was made for.
Right.
Excellent.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, we're going to be excited to hear about that moose hunt.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Well, I guess we've covered all the bases there. Everybody got the info. They know when we're going to have them. So appreciate you coming on and explaining your company and your quality sites and all that. And we're looking forward to getting them out there to all the big woods hunters.
Absolutely. We're really excited about it here and look forward to sharing a campfire with you guys sometime.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I got an idea you're going to be coming out here.
I don't know. I was kind of thinking Western Montana. He said Western Montana whitetails, get a tour of the factory and go deer hunting.
Well, he lives out there where I hunt in Montana.
Is that right?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah, we put a
we don't
bunch
get
of
invited
signs.
to.
We put a bunch of signs up says this is where Hal hunts, and
It's behind the high fence and the posted signs.
Yeah.
Lee puts those signs up around here too.
Yeah. Oh, before I forget, you'll be expecting after the moose hunt a good crotch shot from Joe.
Yeah.
Can't wait. We'll blast it on social media.
I'm not even responding.
Yeah.
Good talking to you, Andy. You've done a nice job explaining your company and your product, and we really look forward to working with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, guys. Lee, Joe, Hal, really good talking to you, and look forward to catching up soon.
Yep. All right, get back to work.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. See ya.
We'll see you.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Hal here. I want to talk a little bit about our partnership with OnX Hunt. I've been using it for a while now, and if anybody knows me, they know I'm not a very techie person, but the OnX app is it's a real time saver. I remember the days when we poured over topo maps everywhere we was going to go and stuff, and I don't do that quite as much anymore. Where it's really helped me is scouting, whether it's deer scouting, a moose, or even turkey hunting in the spring, which I do. It really helps out. I don't have to spend as much time running around the truck burning up the gas. I'm just basically using my OnX. Got it on my phone. Don't even carry a GPS anymore. So I just download the areas where I'm going to be hunting, whether it's up north moose hunting, and I use it mostly on the satellite imagery. I like to see the cuts and the clearings and the turkey hunting, the hidden fields and stuff. But everybody's using it now, from the game wardens to land surveyors, and just a great tool. And with our partnership with OnX, if you use a code BWB, you're going to receive 20% off on your first premium or elite memberships. And you just go to onxmaps.com/hunt. You'll be glad you did. Good luck on the trail.
Hi everyone, Big Woods team member Mark Sheeran here. Many of you know that I have a passion for helping people solve their addictions permanently. As a matter of fact, me and my team have spent the last 31 years helping more than 20,000 people move on from their addictions. So know this, if you or someone you love want to move on from an addiction for good, and you don't want to be stuck in a rehab or 12-step meetings or endless therapies, then you might want to learn about the Freedom Model and the St. Jude Retreat. To learn more, give us a call at 888-424-2626. All calls are confidential. Here's that number again, 888-424-2626, or go to soberforever.net for more information. I really look forward to helping you end your addictions for good. Here's that number one last time, 888-424-2626. Take care.
Hey, Hal here. Just want to take a minute to talk about the hunting club. And you can join by going right online at bigwoodsbucks.com. But anyways, I've got all my information is going in there, and it's a place where you can get together and look at my films, tips, writings, and all of that. And the best part is there's forums for you to communicate with, the rest of the club members, talk about Bigwood stuff and all of that. So anyways, $36 a year, cheaper than getting a Starbucks once a day. So join up, and hope you see you on there. That was a good chat.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I learned a lot. It's going to be good.
A man that knows his product.
Oh, yeah. And cares about it and stands behind it. Lifetime warranty. I didn't know that.
I mean, how do you get better than what he just sold, I mean, lifetime warranty on a quality product.
Yeah.
And we'll keep them in stock, and you'll be able to get them. So
yeah. I don't even think Lee will be able to break one.
No. Doesn't sound
don't
like
bet
it.
on it. He breaks that boat that he has, so he
Yeah.
can break anything.
Showed up broken.
Yeah, tell us about that boat, Lee.
Oh, we covered the boat last time.
We did? No, but we didn't cover the part about it's going to be soon when you get it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. My cruisy deal, I call it.
Yeah.
I got a lot of those deals around.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old Dunphy should be back. I'm hoping tomorrow, if not first of next week.
Yeah. We got to post some pictures of your honey with her polka dot bikini in it, too. Yeah.
Sure. That's not going to cause any problems.
No.
I am kind of a little upset that we're going to be missing the wedding, though. I think that's going to be a good party.
I'm not missing it.
No, when I said we, I meant my wife and I.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be glad when it's over.
The wedding or the marriage?
The wedding just takes, it's time, and every day it's something, and trying to get the house done.
I'm sure she's doing all the planning, not you.
I got some text messages that we could share that I get a list every day.
You do?
Oh,
Yeah.
Your honey
how much
list?
everything's going to cost.
No, let's do this, do that.
Yeah.
Because I have a little more time during the day to make phone calls than she does. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it'll be fun.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Good.
So we had Andy on the phone here, and I'm looking out Lee's shop window here onto, you call this Main Street?
Yeah.
And I look over, and there's a doe standing there waiting to come across the road. She let a couple vehicles go by, and then she hip-hopped right across the road out behind the shop here. I kept looking for a little fella, but I didn't see one.
She's been eating the shit out of my flowers.
That's what she's coming over
yeah,
for?
Oh, yeah. Mowed them. Some of them barrels out there are just mowed right off.
Yeah.
So
I remember one year we first got to the house, and then she got her flowers planted the next summer and all of that stuff. She was all excited. She had some flowers. She planted a bunch of these, I think they were irises. Lilies or irises, I don't know much difference, but they're orange anyway. They were the big buds were out. They got a pretty big bud on them. And that old doe we used to have there, she went right down the line and ate every one of them buds off her lilies.
yeah.
So, geez.
Andy just texted me a picture of a beautiful buck in velvet in his backyard looking at him. He said while we were talking.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I had 2 at the house last week, a big 10 and a nice 8, and a little spiker was following them around. But, yeah, they was headed to the garden at 4:30 to get breakfast.
Yeah. Geez, I've been seeing deer like everywhere, I mean, I remember even, and I'm sure there was more deer back in the 80s and 90s and stuff because of the deer yard situation, but it was kind of strange. You never saw a lot of deer like traveling back then. You drive down, you saw moose. I mean, you'd see 10 or 15 moose coming back at days, but you didn't see much for deer. And now I think along the roads more deer than moose now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
How about the friggin' turkeys? everywhere up there now.
I see a flock of probably 30 this morning, and there was 2 or 3 mature ones, and the rest were babies.
Yep. Now, it was weird. We had a ton of turkeys spent the winter up around Jackman, and then they were around, after they start splitting up there in the spring, and then they disappeared. I saw one coming down this morning, but I don't hardly see a turkey now up there. No, they're in the woods.
Last week when I was up, every single time I go to town, I saw at least one, and many times more than that.
Yeah.
Every time.
I guess I ain't been lucky enough to see them.
I don't know.
But
and the ticks, too. We got ticks up there.
Oh, they've been. I remember ticks back.
They haven't been like they are now, though.
Yeah, but they're just wood ticks.
Yeah, but there's a reason that we're seeing more now. I mean, I've never got a tick on me up there.
Well, I thought that was the whole idea behind the reintroduction of the turkey. Take care of the ticks. No.
Some people think they bring the ticks, but I can't imagine they do because they dust and pluck. And
I read a study by the state of Maine, a biologist did, and his theory is what he thinks has happened is that the turkeys eat the big insects that actually feed on the ticks. And so wherever the turkeys go, they're taking out the tick prey.
Oh.
Well, it's a little late for that study.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows whether it's right, but it was a report they did, and it made sense. I mean, it was, it sounded logical to me.
Yeah.
Because it does seem we've had turkeys up there pretty prevalent for the last, say, 5 to 6 years, and the ticks seem to be coming right along with them.
Hey, Hal here. Hey, one thing I realized as I was getting older is when I was younger, I never really planned for retirement. And so my client for the last couple of years, Jerry Smith, had been talking to me about it a little bit. And I don't know when I'm going to retire, but I definitely got to get ready for it. But Jerry owns a company called the Northern Way Wealth Management. And he's got a program he calls the Northern Way Retirement GPS. And it's a way you can plan to get your finances in order and live your best life, which means time in the woods to track down some big bucks. Because, the problem is not getting enough time in the woods for most people. And, whether it's family or other hobbies or, just financial obligations, it cuts into your hunting time. So Jerry has partnered with Dave Ramsey in his Smart Vest program where he helps folks in his process. And Jerry has partnered with us at Big Woods Bucks to offer you your very own no-cost or obligation and Northern Way Retirement GPS. Just call or shoot Jerry a text at 715-551-4181 and mention the promo code BWB. Jerry's going to help you get some retirement time and some more income so you can hunt some more. Good luck on the trail.
Investment advisory services through Retirement Wealth Advisors, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Northern Way Wealth Management, Retirement Wealth Advisors, and Dave Ramsey are not affiliated.
I took a trip last week. Took a trip over to Newark, Vermont. I had some guns I was cutting down, and Hal had one he was cutting down. And went over to TGI Creations, Kevin Acoyne, and he cut down 6 guns, cut and crowned, drilled the front sights while I waited.
No.
Yep.
Well,
$65 a gun. Yep. Can't beat it.
Hey, wait a minute now. Is he a sponsor? He's getting a free plug, a Goodwill one.
Well, when we have a sponsor that cuts down guns, I don't mind helping Kevin out, and hopefully some guys will.
No, I thought that was amazing to do 6 guns and just while you waited,
Yeah, we went and had lunch. Liz and I took a ride over. We had lunch, came back, and I was able to watch him do the last one and see us process. And I mean, he's got it down. He's been cutting those Remington pumps down for a while.
Yeah.
He also does trigger jobs and flutes the barrels and all that stuff if someone wants it. But that cut and crown is a big improvement for $65.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I looked at it. It's a nice job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what have you been up to, Lee?
Same.
Getting
ready for the wedding.
And
my grass came up I went to work yesterday morning, and I came home last night, and I had a green fuzz all over the
Oh, nice.
yard. So got my 1984 Boland's 54-inch lawnmower, hydrostatic with power steering.
Are you kidding?
1984. That had to be a Cadillac.
Yeah.
It still is. It's mint condition.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, bought it from an old friend of mine. And
You probably won't need to mow it too much this year.
oh, I don't know. I had less than 2 acres, and I used 230 pounds of seed, 600 pounds of nitrogen fertilizer, and 150 bales of hay. And I think she's going to come pretty good.
Yeah. Save some for the deer out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been busier this summer than I don't know why. I decided I wasn't going to do work carpentering like I usually have been to keep busy. I mean, I have been carpenter, but just doing stuff for myself. But then all of a sudden it's dawning on me it ain't too far before we go to Alaska. You think about it's next month, but the end, we got a little over a month to go, but seems like it
goes quick.
goes quick.
Yeah.
I'm building a new floor for remote camp. I had a guy from town build me a nice trailer out of steel, framed it out with angle steel, and put 2 big axles on it with the 6-bolt rim tires. And
Who built that?
Simon.
See a sponsor?
No,
I knew where you were going with that.
I wasn't going to
Can't believe you
mention.
didn't
I wasn't
catch that.
mentioning anything until you had to ask. Yeah, so he built a nice trailer, and the wood's being delivered today to build a new floor on it. And the floor you built, Lee, is about had it.
Yeah, that was 2x8 hemlock, too.
Yeah.
And that was 15 years ago.
No, it wasn't hemlock. It was pine, you said.
No, it's hemlock, I think.
Yeah. From moving it around and being jacked and sitting there, a lot of the sills were cracked pretty bad and kind of rot get into them. Well, the worst thing was when we first built it there, the water would run down off the roof and then down the walls because it didn't have an overhang, and then it would get to the plates and kind of sit there. But
did pretty good, though. We built that one day in the lawn, took it in there in pieces.
Yeah. Then we added the 10 feet to the front.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I got 2x6 hemlock, and I got zip roof system, the brown stuff. Figured that'd make a nice durable floor, and I'm gonna do it that way. And then when I get it in there, I'm gonna tow it in. I'm gonna build a floor right in the yard. When I get it in there, I'm gonna get a light colored deck enamel, like a beige or something, and then paint it to kind of brighten it up inside. And then I'm gonna unhook the plates from the walls and put some 2x4s, maybe 4 of them across from side to side to keep it together, and then lift it up and put rollers under them 2x4s and roll it right off of one floor onto the new floor.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Just move the whole walls and the top right over. And I think it'll go pretty good. We'll see.
Yeah, you'll see.
We'll see if it all falls over and it's on the ground sideways.
That's
So-
okay.
Where is that setting now? You have it back up on the top of the hill there by the ledge, that ledgy pit?
The shale pit, yeah. But I'm going to move it for bear season. I have to move it every year because of the lurk regulations here.
Yeah.
So, yep.
You say you lost a couple bear baits.
Yeah, they're logging in there, but that's all right. It'll grow back thicker. Every time they log, it grows back thicker for the bear. But doesn't seem to bother the deer or either. It gives all kinds of feed for them. But one day in there, I think it was the first day we went in. I had Samuel C. Dalty, Chris's son, with me doing firewood this week. We went in Monday, I think it was the first day, and cut a couple loads of wood for camp. And I think we saw 6 deer that day.
Nice.
Just fighting around in there, and sat in view one of them days they're out. Mostly does. Haven't seen a lot of lambs with them. I think they leave their lambs around a lot just to be safe. But I did see a doe with 2 little fellas beginning of the Kelly Dam Road there one day going up to Penobscot Lake. Been doing a bunch of work up there for my buddy that owns that. He just set his family up for the week for 4th of July, and a lot of work there. Fun work, though. I like that. I go back and stay there and we're replacing all the dock systems that was all rotted out, and building the new docks, and we got all the camps jacked, and
Good retirement job.
yeah.
I'll take over when you're done.
Okay.
I'll be ready.
When's that going to be?
Next year. I'm about ready, I can tell you.
I'm feeling it from you.
Oh,
Might be able to use you next summer up there
you know, that would work.
if you want a summer vacation.
You know, I mean, I was never a saver for years. If I had it, I spent it. Did whatever I wanted. Had whatever I wanted. These last, 10 years.
You've
changed the strategy a little bit, and I've gone without, and it's worked.
Yeah. You realize when you get older, it's easier to make money when you're younger.
Yeah, well, you keep thinking, I'm going to do this when I get older. I'm going to do that when I'm older. And then you're 55, and you're thinking, oh, shit.
I'm old.
Not really, but you got, you want to be able to do the fun things that you talked about and not hurt and ache and,
Oh, yeah.
and have fun at it. So
Yeah.
that's about where we're at. And I think after this, we're already seeing the land prices drop a little bit and the wood prices drop a little bit. And I think once this kind of hits the other side, it'll be a good time to take it a little bit easier.
Sure.
I got a good crew, too. I really don't have to be there, but we have needy homeowners. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's good stuff. Joe's been working with his father, building.
Yeah, I'm doing some apartments.
Everybody's building
down in
stuff.
Sydney.
Yeah.
Building.
Rent them as fast as you can build them, huh?
They rent pretty fast. There's a good market out there right now.
Yeah.
I would imagine, we were talking earlier about, more like the real estate market and new home construction. I mean, that's got to put the brakes on soon. It can't keep going like it goes. I kind of feel it already.
Yeah, we can see it already. You said you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's not a bad thing.
No.
I know everybody's counting on, there's plenty of work. We can't find labor enough. So if we lost half of the work that people are calling about, we'd still be busy every day. You know? And the subcontractors just can't keep up, and they can't say no. So, I mean, the plumbers that we've had, great plumbers, the only one in town really, and he's just so far behind he can't keep up, and it just pushes everything off,
Have you ever seen a labor shortage like we have right now?
No.
I've never seen anything like it.
It's nuts. Well, I see a little buck the other day, and he's just a yearling buck, but I think he was going to be a 6-pointer. I think it's an indication, because we had an easy winter, that the antlers are growing. He even had brow points. He had little brow points, and he was up there about 8 inches, and I could see it was starting to split, Yeah. It'd be a pretty nice 6-pointer. It's nice when you get those sometimes little 8-pointers too, yearlings, They're pretty healthy. The ones you see at your house, was they yearlings or older ones?
No. There was one, that little crotch. I didn't get a good look at him, Spiker crotch. I didn't get a great look at him. But them other two were full-blown, what we call Mingo Springs bucks.
Oh, nice ones.
The ones I sent you pictures of last year.
Yeah.
Just smashers that never come off the preserve. They got it bred right into them not to cross that yellow line.
So your property's in the preserve?
Yeah, I'm in the preserve. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, by about 160 feet.
They know where that line is.
Oh, yeah. They don't have any reason to leave, That stretches the whole north side of Rangeley
Well,
Lake.
you just made a nice food plot for them down there.
Yeah.
Had that all cut off.
Yeah.
How much?
They're in there.
What's that cut you had? 5-6 acres?
Total was 11 something.
Oh, was it that much?
Yeah, between my lot and grandfather's lot.
Oh, yeah. Because you have 6, right?
Yeah. I'll show you. We've been up there for 3 weeks, me and my brother-in-law pounding away. We had it stumped, and they lugged all the brush off and put it in a hole. And then we had a bulldozer come in, but they left a lot of soccer-sized, rocks and shit. So, and you're not going to believe this, but I rented this skid steer on tracks, a big Kubota, and we got a rock bucket for it. And Me and him put 90 hours on this machine. It's rented. Hope you're not listening, Chris, but we put 90
There
hours.
is a meter on that that keeps track of it.
We put 90 hours on that machine in less than 2 weeks, and we both worked full-time jobs. If that gives you any indication, that thing ran steady when we were home. So that little thing went through and picked every rock, and we put it in the windrow because we didn't want to lug it too far. And then once we got that done, we York raked it, got it nice and flat. And then I rented a 3-yard cat from Rennet, came up, and we spent 3 days just cleaning up those windrows and burying that big brush pile we had. And it's ready for seed.
Nice.
Would that rock bucket work well with on one of my fields there in Skowhegan? I've got about 5 acres that it was a piece of woods that was cut and then mulched and everything, but there's a lot of wood chunks in it I want to get out.
Absolutely.
Would it work good for that?
You know, I had a pile of debris and stuff that we was cleaning up on the front lawn, and it was probably 24 yards. It was a pretty good pile of stuff. But it had a bunch of loam in it. So I needed 6 yards of overburden of loam to shim my around my leach field because I didn't want a big hump. So I took that bucket and I just started sifting it. And I sifted the pile once, and I came up with probably, 6 or 8 yards of stuff. And then while I was getting rid of it, I sifted it again and came up with another couple of yards of stuff. So it's really, it works good. You ain't throwing all that stuff away, you know. But,
I'll have to try that out.
And it is. The deer are all through there now. They're already coming through. But we had hydroseeders scheduled a plan for that lower section. And I called one last week, and he said he's not hydroseeding until September 15th because he guaranteed it would die. He said it's not enough moisture this time of year to keep that going, you know.
Oh, you can
for a spot that big.
Oh yeah, hard to water. My dad just did that at his house. He did a bunch of yard work and hydroseeded the whole thing, and you can tell where he's able to get. He's got these big sprinklers out there to water it, but it's too much of an area to get it all at once. So you can tell where the water's.
Where it's watered.
But now this rain that's been.
It'll help.
Kind of a wet pattern we got here.
But I didn't want to take a chance. Christ, that's a couple $1,000 an acre for hydroseed, so I didn't want to take a chance. So on mine, I just, like I said, I seeded it by hand the old-fashioned way and blew hay on it, and the grass is coming. So this is day 5.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Yep.
That's good.
Good deal.
And then it rained. That helped.
Yeah, and I'm supposed to get some more tonight, tomorrow.
Yep.
Good thing, boy. The woods is dry. It's as dry now as it was late summer last year. Late summer was when it really got dry last year.
Yep.
We didn't have hardly any rain. It's been.
But if you look at the forecast for next week, there's 3 or 4 days of showers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're going to finally get it. I mean, I remember a long time ago, Steve Coleman told me, "Going to get 54 inches of rain every year, no matter what." And I guess we do, you know. But
averages out.
Yeah, it averages out. You either get it in rain or snow, but 54 a year, that's what he told me. I never forgot that.
Really?
Yeah. So I think now we got our warm weather in May and June. Probably have snow by the end of September.
Well, if you look at everything's early this year. Or it was blueberries and strawberries.
It is. It's nuts. Deb keeps a notebook with when all her different flowers bloom and her vegetables in her garden. She writes it all down every year. Yeah. And some of the stuff is a month ahead.
Really?
Yeah.
So I hope snow is a month ahead.
Be nice to get it just about the last week of October.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a good old-fashioned winter.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been pictures and some videos and stuff on our social media with all the snow and get you kind of excited looking ahead.
Yeah. Tell you young guys, don't wish the time away, though.
No.
It'll come quick enough.
Yeah. We had a meeting yesterday about trying to get a house closed in, 5,000 square feet. We got to have it closed in by the end of November. And they just looked at me funny. We won't start till August sometime. So
holy smokes!
Sounds like your deer season is screwed.
Yeah,
not for me, for them.
Yeah.
You have all your customers listen to this, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Joe here. Wanted to take a few minutes to talk about Lake Parlin Lodge. We're a 4-season lodge located just south of Jackman. We've got cabins, lodge rooms, mini lodge. We're a big snowmobile destination in the winter, full restaurant, bar, all the amenities that you need for your trip. Open all obviously through the summer, right on the lake. Kayaks, canoes, all included with the cabin. We also do a lot of weddings, so if you're looking for a destination wedding, we can do a wedding up to 200 people. And, of course, we've got our hunting season, moose season, deer season. So check us out. We're at lakeparlinlodge.com.
Well, that's a good chat. I'm glad we get to talk with Andy and explain them sites, and looks like we're going to have them pretty quick.
I was excited about it before we talked to him, but after talking to him,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to working with them.
Yeah. Really great guy, too, you know. I met him, probably said that last time, but I met him at a show there, and I could tell just meeting him, you know, he was a good guy, good, pleasant guy to talk to and stuff. So anyways, that's about it for this time. Check out our Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff, and YouTube. Got some new stuff coming on to YouTube, I think. I know Lee's Moose Hunt's on there now, but I just said we're going to move a couple of things over there from the club, a couple of deer hunts and stuff like that. So look for that pretty soon. And then until next time, good luck on the trail. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Till next time, good luck on the trail.